The reporter with President team has arrived in Tashkent, the capital of Uzbekistan, where President Tokayev will travel immediately after his trip to Moscow. This visit carries the highest protocol status, a state visit, and we expect highly productive negotiations on economic and trade cooperation between Astana and Tashkent. We also know that President Tokayev will take part in the 7th consultative meeting of the Central Asian leaders, where he will address the panel. We bring you everything that matters, so let's get started. The President of Uzbekistan is approaching to meet his Kazakh counterpart at the airport. Two presidents have seen each other just recently in Washington, D.C. at the C5+1 summit with the U.S. President Donald Trump. Now it's an opportunity to discuss bilateral and regional cooperation further, tête-à-tête, and with the leaders of other Central Asian countries. The official welcoming ceremony starts right here. The heads of state greet members of the official delegation. The state visit of the President of Kazakhstan to Uzbekistan officially starts. Now President Tokayev arrives at the Kuksaroy Palace, which is also a working residence of President Mirziyoyev. The agenda of the visit is full of events. Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan are represented by a substantial number of officials. During the second meeting of the Supreme Interstate Council, where topics of cooperation in trade, economy, transit and transportation, water and energy are broadly discussed, President Tokayev shares the main purpose of his visit, which is to strengthen friendship between the two nations and expand mutually beneficial partnership.
Dear Shavkat Mirimonovich, thanks to your tireless efforts, large-scale positive changes are taking place in Uzbekistan. Important initiatives aimed at improving the well-being of the people are being implemented. For us, Uzbekistan is a brotherly kindred state, a good neighbor and a reliable partner. The friendship between our peoples has deep historical roots and our spiritual values are in many ways similar. Kazakh-Uzbek cooperation is steadily developing in the spirit of strategic partnership and alliance.
President Tokayev continues saying that Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan have significant potential for deepening industrial cooperation as well as advanced cooperation in agriculture. He emphasizes 78 joint projects worth $1.7 billion that will bring a new and strong impetus to the economic development of two countries.
The International Center for Industrial Cooperation is our key project. It is located in the Makhtaral district of the Turkestan region, while on the Uzbek side it borders the Sirdarya region. This is a densely populated area. We have already built a facility there using the brownfield approach. Projects worth around $360 million are already being placed on site. The most important point is that we are focusing on deep processing. Why are we doing this? Today, the potential of our mutual trade is limited, and only by developing deep processing can we realistically aim for a trade turnover of $10 billion.
Cooperation in the rare earth industry appears to be promising, the head of state underlines, as Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan in particular are home to large deposits of natural resources, including uranium and rare earth metals. The special working group will be set up to research the prospects for future partnership. Another important proposal announced by President Tokayev is to jointly develop a number of systematic measures to harmonize water management policies, an issue of particular significance in Central Asia.
Today we're signing an agreement between the government of Kazakhstan and the Republic of Uzbekistan on the joint and rational use of transboundary water bodies. The Commission will primarily be responsible for the proper joint and rational use of water across all transboundary water bodies and rivers. Attention will also be devoted to digitalization efforts to ensure accurate water distribution across all facilities. In addition, the agreement includes a list of water management facilities where repair, restoration and reconstruction work will be carried out jointly by both sides.
Просим уважаемых глав государств дать разрешение на запуск совместных проектов путем нажатия символической кнопки.
Now, presidents of two countries, in the presence of their respective delegations, take part in the ceremony to launch 7 joint projects worth a total of $1.2 billion in the fields of industry, construction, oil and gas, chemistry, finance, and logistics.
Our portfolio company Kazakh will sign a contract with Uzbekneftegas on the joint exploration of Zharkyn oil field in Kazakhstan. The parties will invest in geological exploration in 2 wells, each well 2,000 meters depth. And this will be the foundation of our cooperation in oil sector. Moreover, KMG with Uzbekneftegas will be investing in a joint project in the Kashkadarya region in Uzbekistan, in petrochemicals sector, in alkylate benzene, Uzbekistan GLT, on the basis of Uzbekistan GLT factory. The parties will be jointly developing alkylate benzol project.
Встречаем высоких гостей, уважаемых глав государств.
In his speech, President Shavkat Mirziyoyev calls President Tokayev an honored friend who is always highly welcomed in Uzbekistan.
We highly value the contribution of the President of Kazakhstan to strengthening the relations of friendship, good neighborliness, strategic partnership and alliance between our two brotherly peoples. Thanks to our joint efforts, Uzbek-Kazakh relations have acquired unprecedented momentum and have become exemplary.
Наградить его превосходительство президента Республики Казахстан Касым-Жомарта Кемелевича Токаева орденом Али Дараджали Достлик Республики Узбекистан. Президент Республики Узбекистан.
Now you can see very symbolic move. President of Uzbekistan awards President Tokayev with the highest state order of Uzbekistan.
Xonimlar va janoblar, O'zbekiston Respublikasi Prezidenti Shavkat Miromonovich Mirziyoyev janobi oliylari hamda Qozog'iston Respublikasi Prezidenti Qasim-Jomart Kemelovich Toqayev janobi oliylari.
Following the negotiations, the presidents adopted a joint statement and signed several documents. Additionally, representatives of the official delegation exchanged 17 strategic documents in the presence of the heads of state.
There are a number of directions that we cooperate between Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan in IT sphere. First of all, it's joint cooperation on opening IT hubs on global markets. So, for example, there are IT hubs that we opened together in Silicon Valley in US, where startups have startups from the whole Central Eurasian region have an infrastructure to meet with venture capitalists and raise venture funding, have co-working spaces there, and go through the acceleration programs. Such hubs were opened recently also in Shanghai, and we signed an agreement to open in Dubai. So currently we are going through the preparatory works to open hub in Dubai.
Is there any progress in attracting the finances for these projects? You mentioned the Silicon Valley, for example, from the American investors, or
Yeah, just to give you a concrete example, that this year we sent more than 40 startups for the acceleration, Kazakhstani startups for acceleration in Silicon Valley. and their combined valuation was close to $2 billion US dollars.
During a joint communique to the press, President Tokayev emphasizes that the agreements reached during negotiations at the Kuksaroy residence meet the fundamental interests of the two nations and demonstrate the unshakable nature of Kazakh-Uzbek friendship, good neighborliness, strategic partnership and alliance.
As President of Kazakhstan, I consider it my duty to give priority to the development of multifaceted cooperation with Uzbekistan. I would like to emphasize that contrary to various speculations by so-called experts, Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan are not rivals or even competitors, but strategic partners and reliable allies moving together along the path of progress and development. Our peoples are true brothers and close friends who show sincere respect for one another.
The next day of the visit continues at the Congress Center, where the 7th consultative meeting of the leaders of Central Asia and Azerbaijan is scheduled. Kassym-Jomart Tokayev arrives to take part in the event. He is welcomed by President Shavkat Mirziyoyev. Now, when all the presidents are at the venue, it's time for a traditional family photo. The main session will follow. Addressing the session, President Tokayev underlines that consultative meeting of the heads of Central Asia proves its effectiveness, first of all, in reinforcing the economic foundation in regional cooperation.
The number of joint ventures is growing and major projects are being implemented in industry, energy, mechanical engineering, agriculture and other sectors. Trade barriers are being consistently removed, new border checkpoints are being opened, and road and railway connections are being expanded. As a result, the volume of intra-regional trade reached $11.5 billion US dollars last year. I believe that we will fully support this positive momentum in order to increase this figure to $20 billion in the future.
President Tokayev continues emphasizing the transit potential of Central Asia, adding that in today's geopolitical realities, the region carries a unique opportunity to become a key transit hub for Eurasia. Coordinated actions are needed to fully realize the logistics potential of the Central Asian Five.
Чтобы избежать дублирования, проверок и избыточных бюрократических процедур.
To avoid duplication of inspections and excessive bureaucratic procedures at border crossings, we consider it advisable to explore the introduction of a unified electronic cargo tracking system. To further strengthen the region's potential, we propose launching joint work on a comprehensive strategy for the development of Central Asia's transport system.
The head of state also touches upon the issues of regional stability and security. In this context, agreements on the state border between Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan, as well as on the junction point of the borders of Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan, are particularly important. President Tokayev says that the region continues to face challenges of terrorism, religious extremism and transnational crime, and a coordinated approach is needed to overcome them.
Уважаемые дамы и господа, начинается церемония подписания итоговых документов консультативной встречи глав государств Центральной Азии.
Azerbaijan has officially joined the consultative format of Central Asia, which is welcomed as an example of expansion of the regional interaction architecture in the Eurasian continent. Following the meeting, presidents of Central Asian countries and Azerbaijan signed several joint documents, including the concept of regional security, stability, and sustainable development in Central Asia.
In today's world, which is unfortunately marred by geopolitical divide, Central Asia coming together and resolving the issues in true spirit of good neighborly relationship and cooperation is sending a very powerful example. Central Asia is indeed an oasis in today's world of stability, peace, cooperation, good neighborliness, and this is all being done by, first of all, the goodwill of the political leadership, and then the arduous work of everybody else. And this is done for every single citizen of every country of Central Asia, so that indeed no one is left behind.
Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan are not competitors, but partners and allies. Two countries, two nations are developing rapidly and contributing meaningfully to Central Asia's overall development strategy. President Tokayev has articulated this powerful message, which was echoed by the region's leaders who stay united in their commitment to deepening economic cooperation within Central Asia and also expanding it onto the global stage. That's all we wanted to share with you for now. Until the next time, goodbye.